What's up, Knife Tube? It's Diamond Cut Steel, and you guys are going to learn something today. Alright, so what we're going to do, well, besides drop my wallet, we are going to head-to-head cut test CJRB AR-RPM9 in this Pyrite right here. If it'll focus. Good old RPM9. And I know this is gray handle, I changed it, put the S90V on the orange handles, but this is AR-SFII. Whoops. AR-SFII. Okay. So we're going to head-to-head cut test RPM9 and SF2. And then we are going to sharpen just the SF2 on video. Since I've sharpened plenty of RPM9 on video, but not SF2. Now, both of these knives are on edge number 4. Okay? Both of these knives are finished on Shapton Koromaku 1000. Okay? And a few passes on Lacey's 3 micron diamond emulsion on leather to make sure they're fully deburred. So, yeah, like I said, sharpened plenty of RPM9 on video, but have not sharpened any SF2. So we might as well go ahead and take this opportunity to do so. I think that would be beneficial. So we're going to do RPM9. And SF2. Both pyrites. All right, so there's our scorecard. Typical testing methodology, 1/2-inch sisal rope. 1/2-inch sisal rope, 10 cuts, check the edge on newspaper, cutting with the grain until we get enough edge deformation that we start having, can't cut through the paper basically. So this is where we're at. We are at very, very, very sharp, aggressive edges. Lots of bite. Beautiful edge. Beautiful edge. If I can cut paper. Anyways, beautiful edges. Okay. Let's get to it. And I don't know if I said or not, but both of these knives are on edge number 4. Okay. So, yeah. Beautiful edge. Let's do it. Okay. Probably gonna need more rope. That's no problemo. Have plenty of it. So typically, let's see, the best RPM9 I think did what? 60, and that was the Krag. That one that I give away. I told y'all it's the best RPM9 I've ever had. That's why I wanted to give that one away. So it did 60. So I really don't have no clue where this one's going to finish. Now I will say this one's performed pretty decently. No complaints. But let's see how it does. Everything's in focus. Yes, it is. All right, let's do it. There's 10. Go to AR-RPM9. Good old RPM9er. And here is SF2. When we first cut test this, I believe that was on the factory edge. I'm pretty sure I did do a cut test on the factory edge. Can't remember actually. All right, so let's see where we're at. Just so you know, our cutting is up in this area. Beautiful. Beautiful. In. Sorry about that, guys. I'm gonna buy a new refrigerator, I promise. I did buy one, and then the wife wanted it, so you know how that goes. Okay, so we have 10 of 10. See where we're at. RPM9 definitely getting a little rougher. I'm still cutting great, but I can definitely feel it rough and getting a little rougher. Wow. That's significantly sharper right now, okay? Let me just lead off with that. That is significantly better after those 20 cuts. Significantly better. though it feels much sharper on the paper, these both cut about the same. Can't really tell much difference in how they're cutting. Oh. Okay. Okay, looking good. Looking good, looking good. Oh. Yeah. Okay. I was about to say, wait a minute. Just clean both of them off. Okay. That's big 30. Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, they both are starting to get slick. That bite is absolutely falling off. In the last 5 cuts just then, that one changed significantly in bite. Okay, that's looking good. Looking good. One more, just triple checking. Looking good. Hey, I don't like that. I don't like that. Yeah, okay. You see that kind of little grab? This edge, well, that felt really nice. Okay, now it feels good. See how it looks. Definitely getting a little flashing. See it? See it? Definitely getting some flashing on the RPM9. SF2 looks brilliant. Okay. I don't like how that SF2 just lost its bite all of a sudden. I do believe this is going to be about the last 10 for this one, based on what I'm feeling. It's still cutting the rope pretty well. Doesn't have a ton of bite, but it's cutting the rope nicely. that's getting quite slick. Quite slick. I believe this, with all that deformation I'm seeing, I'm going to say this is probably the end of the RPM9. Hey? No? Okay. Yeah, maybe. That got through pretty good. It's thinking about it. Okay, that tore. That tore. That cut. That cut. Let me clean it off. Man, I think this is going to do pretty much right there what that crag did. Yeah, that's good. It's close. It's close. The crag did, what are we at? 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah. Crag did 60. I said that's the best RPM9 I've ever used. Well, I think this one's going to do right with that, about what that one did. All right. There's 10. That's 60 for the RPM9. This edge is still sharp, but it's very slick. Has no bite. No bite at all. In fact, I'd say the RPM9 actually has a little more bite right now. That tore. That tore. Let me clean the edge. That tore. That skipped. That got through. That tore. That tore. That tore. Yep, that's it. And of course when I say that, then it gets through. But yeah, it's, yes, that's it. That's it. All right, RPM9 did 60. Exactly what the crag did. Well, talk about consistency. I like to see that, actually. I like to see that. Well, let's see what this edge looks like. Oh yeah, it's all, there's a lot of deformation there, but it's not enough to, not really enough to really tear that bad. You notice it's still getting through some. If I watch what I'm doing, I probably can get it through pretty clean. Let's see. No, it's catching, okay. See, that got through. No tearing. That tore. That got through. So even though there's quite a bit of deformation, look at that. But, you know, if you, there's no catches, it's more skipping. Like, it's more skipping than it is anything, so it's blunting. So we're at 60 for the RPM9. Big old 6-0. 6-0-0. I'll tell you what. Let's see how this one's looking. Let's clean it. Tell you what, that's pretty clean looking edge. I don't see any deformation. It's not, a little bit right there. Yeah, it is flashing at me a little bit, but not bad. Not nearly as bad as the RPM9 after 60. To the naked eye, very little. There's a little bit right here. Are y'all getting that? Let's see. See it? Yeah, it's just a little bit. Okay, so I mean, there's clearly a difference in edge stability. And wear resistance is that's blunting down, that's blunting down pretty good. Is where this is holding up excellent. But, well, let's see which one feels sharper. Okay. Very slick, but right now it's cutting on geometry. And what I mean by that is it's not cutting with teeth, it's cutting purely on this. Okay. It's totally slick, so that's probably not going to go too much more. No doubt about it, the RPM9 feels sharper. It feels sharper because it's, all that. Basically, there's still a little bit of, how do I put it? Basically, that edge deformation is acting almost like teeth to some extent. But the thing is, it actually feels sharper. Let's see. Okay, that's catching the thumbnail. Skipped a little bit right there. Okay. That's still sharp enough to grab the thumbnail. This one, I don't think it is. Oh, no. Well, it is. Right there, it's not at all. There it is. Yeah. That RPM9 is definitely feels sharper right now. No doubt about it. And this is super slick. Right now, I mean, yes, this would still cut, but this edge right here is not something you would want to really be using because it's just, well, it's completely zero bite. Yeah. But see, that feels like it's passing, now that feels like it's passing through the rope easier though. So, maybe it is sharp, even though it doesn't feel as sharp to the finger. Yeah, you know what? It's actually close. Yeah, they feel about the same, actually. This one feels slicker, though, but it's because there's less edge deformation. Still, really no glinting to speak of. It's for a very minor. See it right there? Yeah, very minor. Okay, let's see where we're at. Okay. That's still going through. Yeah, that's still going through. Not bad, RPM or SF2. Not bad. It's getting quite rough, but look at that, man. That cut through good. Yeah, I can't complain at that right there. That's still passing through quite easily. Okay. Let's give it another 10. Wow, it's slick. It's still cutting it pretty damn good. Okay. Let's clean it. That might be it. And of course, I say it's every time. If I say that, the next cut's going to pass through perfectly. That's looking pretty good. Oh, I don't know. That got through. I'd say it might have 10 more left in it. That didn't tear, but it skipped enough to almost tear. No, that did tear. That tore. That got through. That tore. That got through. It's right there at it. We'll test it at 5. There's 5. Let's clean it. That tore. That got through. That tore. I think that's it. Yeah, I think that's it. That tore. That tore. Yeah, that's it. All right, that's it. So that was 5. So it did 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 85. So it did 25 more cuts than RPM9. Well, but see, I'll tell you what, this still feels exactly the same as it did when I checked on both. When this was at 60, and I said, see how they both felt. This feels identical to how it felt then. Still feels exactly the same as it did then. By no means dull. Super slick, but not dull. And look at that. There is a little bit of glinting, but I'll tell you what, that's pretty damn good. Okay. Compared to that. Yeah. You know, let me give that one more opportunity because it still feels exactly how it did. It don't feel like it doled out all from 60 to 85. Okay, I just want to make sure I'm calling it at the right time. And I definitely am. And of course, when I say it, it goes right through it. Yeah. See, that's going through it. It's catching. But, well, that tore. That went through. That tore. That tore. That tore. Okay, that's 3 in a row. That's legit. Even though it really does feel like it's passing. Now, it's passing through the paper much easier than the RPM9 was. At 60, like it was really grabbing and tearing. That's still passing through much easier. I'll show you. Then we'll sharpen up this SF2 and see. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I'm so sorry. I made y'all see sick. I apologize. Give the wife something to sweep up. Please don't tell her I said that. Please. She'll whoop my ass. For real. Break my fucking fingers. Alright. So let's see where this is at. Okay, that's very rough as it's passing through. But see, now that got through just then. What? See it skipping and tearing. Yeah, okay. See, now that got through, but it's super rough and tearing. Yeah, that's tearing pretty bad. Yeah, that's tearing pretty bad. Versus this. Look at that. See, that's actually still slicing. It's just catching. Yeah, it's just catching enough to cause tears. But this edge is definitely still gonna cut better than that edge right now. No doubt about it. Now let's see, just for shits and giggles. Let's see which ones or how they strop back. I've always said RPM strops back extremely well, and it does. We're just gonna go 5 micron. We'll give them 10 passes per side at sharpening angle, of course. Okay. Alrighty, let's see where we're at. Oh, nice. Very nice. That come right back, no problem. Still a couple little catches. Come on. Really? Yeah, there's still a few little catches, but that's back cutting much nicer. All right, let's see where the RPM's at, or RPM9's at. That did come back. 10 more passes, probably be back pretty good. I'm gonna say this is back perfect, or close to it. Look at that. And see, well, little catch. See, that's where RPM9's so good. Look at that. is that it strops back so damn well. Yeah, RPM9 strops back extremely well. Beautiful. That was just 10 passes. Let's give it, because I'm going to resharpen anyway, so I don't care about, well, it's already super slick anyhow, but I'm not worried about it. I just want to see. Let's give it 10 more passes, but actually let's hop to 7.5 micron. See where that's at.
Night, Daddy, love you.
Love you, baby. Okay, now that feels nice. Still some roughness. Come on. But much better. Yeah, that's cutting. Still a good little catch about right here. Definitely much more rough than the RPM9. RPM9's cutting nice and smooth now. Okay, let's give it 10 more. I know that's more than 10 now. I'm just being really careful on these last dropping strokes. Okay, that's probably about 18. It's probably about 18. That feels pretty decent there. All right, now let's go a few on 3. Okay. Now, if this was RPM9, it would be back hair popping easily by now. Let's see where this is at. Pretty good. There's still a catch up there. Actually, I don't think it's a catch. I think it's blunting that it's catching on. Okay, that's pretty good, but there's definitely something that's catching on it there, be it blunting. It's more skipping than catching, so it's some blunting. That's going to be hard for a strop to get out. You're going to almost have to go to a ceramic rod or to a large micron, like say 20 micron strop. But should easily shave now. And it does. Yeah, easily shaving now. Come on. Okay. Easily shaving now. But very slick. So, RPM9 definitely for shits and giggles. Let's go to 7.5. Remember, we're on what, 10 here? Or I don't remember, but way less than that. I'm going to do 10 and 10 on 3, and we'll see where we're at. Okay. Pin on 3. That should be back to almost how it was off the stones. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Come on. Yeah, that's good. Not quite off the stones, but I can still feel some little of that edge deformation in there. But that's plenty sharp again. Should shave without too much problem. Yeah, it is shaving. Not perfect, but it's shaving. So, and oh yeah, that's very sharp to the finger. So, man, this is 43 minutes. It's gonna be a way long video. I'm sorry, guys. But some of you guys love it. So, you know what? These long videos, if y'all love them, this is for you guys. You guys that love them, these are for y'all. The guys that don't like long videos, well, they can click off. Now let's see. I have sharpened this stuff on, I have 2 of these. I believe I've sharpened it on Sharp All Diamond plate. I believe I have sharpened it on the Lite. I've sharpened it on the Korematsu's. And I believe on the Sharp All again. So yeah, I believe I've sharpened it, not this one. This one's on its 4th edge, just with this 4th sharpening, but I believe it was sharpened on Sharp All the first 2 times, then Korematsu's the last 2 times. How do we want to sharpen this, guys? Want to do, I'm going to pause it and think. I'll be right back. Okay, I know what we're going to do. We're going to go good old Hapstone Nano Home. Let's go 100 micron film to start. And then I'll jump over to the 100 micron resin diamond plate and we'll finish it on that, because these nano homes go way, it's nowhere near a true 100 micron stone with how it finishes. Not even close. Yeah, not even close. So, I'll just use water actually. I'll go with these 100 micron film. This one's actually kind of worn. It probably could be replaced. And yeah, this don't strut back nearly as well as the RPM9 does, because I can still see the edge deformation that was there. I can still see it, and it's exactly what it is. It's just blunting, and it's too much for the strop to deal with. In fact, look at that. See it right there? It's rolled. It can catch my nail. Yeah, it can catch my nail. In fact, that's why the strop can't bring it back. Like I said, if I went to like a 25 micron strop, I probably could, because that 25 micron strop would be able to raise a burr on here. It's found really hard leather. Can you guys see? Yes, sir, Bob. Yes, you can. Had a customer today bring these over. I just need to sharpen them, and I'm like, dude, I almost feel bad, you know, charging them, you know, because I mean, I have my rate, and that's what I charge, you know, and I'm fair. I charge basically less money than the, you know, the professional fixed angle guys. You know, most of them are charging what, like a lot of them are charging like what, $50-$60 for mirrors per edge. Fucking ripoff, man. That's too much money. I do a better mirror freehand, and yeah, I'm not going to charge you that much. But you know, just for normal sharpening, I'm going to charge you $20. Not, you know, if you don't want a mirror. If you want a mirror, I'm going to charge you $30. But these right here, I'm sure the set probably only cost, what the hell? That's a stiff detent. Yeah, Spidey flick it. But I'm sure he paid what, like $30 for this set. Old real tree, old real root. But he wants them sharpened, so you know, I hate to charge him $60 to sharpen these, but he wants the blade on this plus the scissors sharpened. Those scissors are going to be a pain in the ass, but you know, so I'm not going to charge him for them. I'm just going to do them whatever. 20, 20, and 20 for the 3 knives, and I'll sharpen the scissors for them for free. But I almost feel bad charging, you know, but man, that's my time. I have to charge for it. You know, when I'm doing professional sharpening, I got to charge for it. So it just feels silly to me to pay, you know, for a $20 or $30 set of knives. He's going to pay $60 for sharpening. But one thing I can guarantee you, they'll have good edges on them. I'm sure that steel is going to be really fucking not very fun to sharpen, but you know, it is what it is. Alright, so we've had these right at probably about 17, 18 degrees per side. So we are right there, right there. Feel it grab feel the bevel intersect with the stone. You feel it lock against it. Perfect. Right there's our angle. Right there. Oh yeah, this film is quite worn. I should replace this film actually. Okay. Perfect. Full width of the bevel. We're dead on angle. Looks beauteous. We have at the burr, nice fine burr. I still see some deformation. I'm gonna have to remove a little more steel. I'll tell you what, this 100 micron film is cooked. So what we're gonna do, I'm gonna fuck the film. We're just gonna go 100 micron plate. You know, this probably would cut about the same speed as like a 60 micron film. So yeah, it is what it is. So, the Hap Stanley and his nano home plates, I mean, these resin stones, they're alright. You know, they're way overpriced in my opinion. But, you know, you get, what, like damn 0.5 millimeter of abrasive layer. But they are consistent, buddy. If you want the most tightly sourced diamond, I've ever seen in any diamond stone, it's in these nano stones. You can look under, you know, optical microscope, and you can sit there and measure it out, and like the extreme spread between particles is so tight that it's crazy. Like that is the most tightly sourced diamond I've ever seen. And I know that's why the resin layer is so thin, because when you got diamond that's graded that tightly, it's very expensive, okay? Mono diamond, yeah, there's that dirt cheap shit out there. Okay, this is not that. When it's graded that tightly and that consistent, that is some fucking expensive diamond. So if this was, say, 3 millimeters thick, and he had to load that, 3 millimeters of resin with diamond, that expensive of diamond, that would be a very expensive stone. So I understand why it is the way it is, but I don't know. It's just, it's so little, and these stones are quite expensive, and they just don't cut very fast. They don't remove material very well. But man, are they consistent. Make sure I'm all dead on angle. Find that angle right there. Let's do it. Like, as you can see, it's a 100 micron stone. Listen to it. Listen how quiet it is. And I'll tell you what, this stone does not feel like it's cutting. It is, but it doesn't feel like it. And like I said, speed-wise, hell, it's probably more like a 40 micron film, actually. Work that area where that deformation is. Get that out real quick. It's also some extremely hard resin, so it does wear very slowly, but still. Okay. Better. And like, as you look on here, and you see very little steel removal. There's some, but it's very little. And they're good stones, don't get me wrong, but they just, even the 200 micron, it just don't cut very fast. Filling that bevel. Sorry, guys. And we're just gonna fill that bevel, lock against. Oh my god, I hate that fucking thing. That thing drives me fucking crazy, it really does. Tell you what, it doesn't feel like a very hard steel. I'm assuming, you know, it's probably right there at that 60 range. Our burr's been flipped. But it's just, I don't know. It did it did its job. It did outcut RPM9, and in use, it does perform a little better. You know, I've been saying probably about 20%. Like, you know, out in use, I've noticed probably what's, you know, a 20-ish% gain in edge retention, and that's, you know, probably right somewhere around what it did. I don't remember the numbers. I didn't put the thing up, but it's probably right there around 20%, maybe a little more. So yeah, I mean, can't complain. Is it worth $20 more? Like the RPM9 version of the Lite or the SF2 version? It's 20 more bucks. Is it worth it? Yeah, probably, because there is a large enough edge retention increase that you notice it. You'll actually notice it in use, and you know, clearly the edge deformation was far less significant than it was on the RPM9. So this thing would touch up on a ceramic rod very nicely. Yeah, but you know, you always got to remember RPM9 strops back so nicely, and this does not strap back nearly as nice. Now, on like a ceramic rod, it would probably do fantastic. But yeah, you know, the sharpening experience is not bad either way. I will say this with RPM9, it's very, you know, you do run into some consistency issues. You really do run into some, you know, consistency issues. When you buy RPM9, you don't know what you're getting. It could be pretty good, it could be okay, it could be not very good at all. And that's what, you know, I see from RPM9. But, so, you know, now there's only 2 samples. Both of these SF2 pieces are, I can't tell them apart. They both sharpen pretty well. They perform pretty well. They didn't care about, you know, whatever abrasive I used them on. They're perfectly happy. Deburred reasonably well. Not great, but not bad. Okay. Don't really see no, and there's a piece of burr right there, but don't really see no piece of the burr really breaking off. Scratch pattern looks typical nano home, meaning very, very consistent. Let's see where we're at. Feels relatively clean of burr. Pretty sticky. Let's work this burr a little bit more, because I don't see any really on the stone except for one little piece.
right there. I'm not worried about hitting it, so that's why I'm not cleaning it off. It's not in my way. Remember, when you're deburring a knife, that's when you really want to take your time. That's like, a lot of people try to get going really fast when they're deburring. That's the one time when, in my opinion, you really don't want to go super fast. Like, I'll sit there and remove metal as fast as anybody, but when it comes time to deburr, fatiguing the burr and then deburring, that's when you really want to take your time and make sure your angle consistency is beautiful. So don't rush, burr fatigue, burr minimization, and deburring. Do not rush those times. I cannot stress it enough. If you don't, and you take your time, your edge results will be better. I guarantee it. It's very nice. It is very nice. There's burr catching right there at the tip, but it'll almost swirl cut off the stone. Almost. Okay, but there's some burr up here. I feel it grab. That's where it's grabbing at. That's no problem. Go to 7.5 fucking microns. I need to stop saying F-bomb in my videos. In fact, that was the last F-bomb in my videos. We should definitely be swirl cutting now. What do you know? Beautiful. 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 So yeah, it sharpens nice. Now I'm gonna say this. I did that when I cut tested. That was on Korematsu 1000. Was where it was finished. This steel may do better, like off of say a 600. This right here is going to be a pretty substantially more aggressive finish than that Korematsu 1000. And probably going to perform better. I probably could have got another 5 to 10 cuts off this finish right here. There you go. See it? Much more aggressive. But yeah, it's still very keen.
to show for you guys. Man, it's hard to get an edge to show up, I'll tell you that. It is really freaking hard to get an edge to show up. Trying to get it to focus. Come on, camera. Okay, there we go. Well, that's better. But a nice aggressive finish. It's probably going to perform better than, say, that Koreamaku 1000 did. I'd say maybe 5 to 10 cuts more. You know, so if you, let's say this did, you know, 5 more cuts, and so 90 cuts. You know, you're getting up there. That's basically 154 cm numbers. Well done 154 cm. That's K1 D2. Well done D2, or pretty well done D2. K110 numbers. Like 85 cuts is pretty damn good. You know, remember. You know, that's S30V numbers. You know, that's right there. Sage 5 did in S30V. Oh no, that was 3/4 inch. Never mind. I was about to say, yeah, no, there's no way. BD1N did 110. Let's see. Kershaw D2 63. Hold on, guys. I'm looking. Ganzo 440C 80. That's really that stuff performs good. Ganzo has it dialed in. Let's see. Kubi D2 90. Spyderco VG10 80. So this doing, you know, 80 cuts, man, that's pretty damn significant. You know, that's really impressive, actually. 80 cuts out of this, and realistically, with it running, you know, a more aggressive edge finish like it is now, you're probably gonna get another 5 to 10 cuts. So, you know, realistically, you would be at hey, where's my score sheet? How many did this do, guys? I don't remember. What? 8? What did I do on my score? Oh, there it is. Okay. It did what? Yeah, 85. Damn. So that's really good, man. Let's say, you know, with this finish, it got another 10 cuts. So at 95. That is fucking awesome. That's more than Kubi D2. That's more than Petrified Fish K110. Yeah, that's pretty damn impressive. That is pretty damn impressive. So, you know, this stuff really is this is performing up there with, you know, really good D2 and K110. And I guarantee you, with this more aggressive finish, would outcut it. Yeah, now that I really look at the numbers, man, this shit's awesome. You know, RPM9 doing 60 is really great, but that doing 85 with probably a little too high of a grit finish for where it's going to perform best at. That is nuts. That is damn good steel. Good job, CJRB. Good job. Hell, I don't know, that 85 didn't sink in until I start looking over at, you know, what. Wow.
I need to recut this with a more, this more aggressive edge finish on it and see. I believe 5 to 10 more is what it would do, but I never know. Maybe that 1,000, was where it wants to be. Maybe it would actually get less. I'm going to say no by how it cut, because it does go slick pretty quickly. It does definitely get slick. So it's probably a steel that needs that more aggressive tooth pattern to actually maintain bite over extended cutting. But I'll let you guys go. Y'all been with me an hour and 12 minutes. There you go. RPM 960. So that's RPM 9 Crag did 60, RPM 9 Pyrite did 60, so good job as far as consistency. SF2 did 85 with what's, in my opinion, slightly too high of grit of a finish. Probably could have got 5 to 10 more out of it with a more aggressive finish, but SF2 definitely gets the thumbs up. No doubt about it. That is a damn good budget steel. So, like, share, subscribe, comment. Thank you guys. Have a good night.